You are tuned to Kenneth Zenith Cablevision. Thank you for watching. It's time for talk. Each evening at this time, Monday through Friday, Rosemary interviews local personalities and others who bring items of interest to this community. Time for Talk is a community betterment service. Tonight, Rosemary takes us by means of portable camera out of our studios and maybe into your neighborhood. And now, it's time for Talk.
Tonight finds us back in the archives of the Daily Dunklin Democrat. This is a fascinating place. I wish we had time to just look through all of these things, especially the old ones now, not the last 10 or 15 or 20 years, which is current for me, but the old-time things. We decided, some things were brought to our attention, and we decided we'd look back into the bringing of the Ely Walker plant into Kennett. We found the date was 1923. But when we start researching 1923 in these files of the Dunklin Democrat, we come across a very interesting thing. And I don't even know who to ask about this because nobody goes back this far. You see here's the Dunklin Democrat. And there are also books here, Dunklin County News. Now, it says let me find this page. Published every Friday. W.R. Plunkett was the editor and manager. The subscription rate was $1.50 a year in advance. Now then, the Dunklin Democrat had as its publisher, and the pages are so brittle that you have to be very careful with it. Will A. Jones, editor and manager. Advertising rates and the subscription rates were here. Let me see what his subscription. Two things here catch our eye as we're trying to find the opening of the Ely Walker plant. The Ku Klux Klan holds a meeting near Caruth. There was a basket supper, and it was members of the Ku Klux Klan of Kennett and Zenith, and all Klansmen were invited. But next to it here, officers get another still near Kennett. The Night Marshal J.D. Vowell brought in another still. It's interesting how they say he brought in another still. This one was found in a thicket on the Hemp Hill tract of land southeast of Kennett. It was discovered by a boy who with his father is working in the timber, but the officers did not remember their names, very conveniently, I would imagine. The boy had gone out into the cane thicket to cut a fishing pole when he found the plant. He came in and reported it. There was an iron barrel cooker, all set and ready for operation, and a copper pipe for a worm was in place, and a barrel of mash was found nearby, which was about ready to run, and a pump had been driven to furnish the water supply. The outfit was destroyed and the mash poured out, and the Hemp Hill Lumber Company took the officers out on their train. Nobody claimed ownership of it at that point. It probably would not have been wise to claim ownership. Let's see. August 17, 1923, machinery is being installed in the new garment factory. They're getting ready to move in. Machines on the second floor, 135 or 40 girls and women have been in training. They're making $12 to $15 and $18 a week. The building is 3 stories and has a floor space of more than 20,000 square feet. And each floor has a toilet and a lavatory. And a large electric freight elevator has been installed and is in operation.
You have every operation worked out as to how many, on the average, one can do, right?
Yes, all operations have been time studied,
okay.
And we have piecework earnings. They're working at a piece rate, incentive earnings. We have good earnings. It all depends on the speed of the operator, how much she earns.
Okay. Listen, I always thought putting a collar on was a difficult job. She makes it really look easy.
Well, it looks a little easier than what it is. If I sat down there and tried to do that, it wouldn't come out that well. But
It'd be upside down and backwards.
But this is one of our more difficult jobs in the plant. It's not any harder to do than any other job, but we have more difficult in training our people to do this job.
I'm amazed at the efficiency of these people. Look how fast she can sew that thing. That's amazing. And this machine puts both of those, all
yes,
of that on there.
This machine does all the stitching at one time, yes.
Right. You've been at this long, this machine?
About 5 years.
About 5. How many can you do a day?
35, 40 dozen.
35 or 40 dozen.
Well, this is like any other operation. We don't only outside of, we do not have a production on this job. This is an inspection operation. I don't think anyone has the quality that our merchants would be looking for if they didn't have their inspection stations throughout the plant. We have intermediate inspection stations from the beginning to the finishing of our product.
Now, what do you look for?
I have the joining. We operate the joining and the collar closing and setting.
All right, now what's the most common mistake that you usually find?
Well, most of it's in the collar closing, and then we have the joining.
Collar closing.
And the joining, too. So we inspect this, and we have to turn it and inspect this, and be sure that the setters is all in the ends.
All right, now, what if you find that the seam's wrong, or the joining's wrong?
Well, we pin it up and take it back to the one that did it. Well, they have numbers on their tickets, see.
Okay, and then do they have to...
They have to fix it.
Take the stitches out?
They fix it, yeah. They
That
take
comes
it out.
off of their production time.
Well, yeah, it's what they're, yeah, it does.
Okay.
They have, yeah, each one fixes their own repairs.
All right, how long have you been inspecting?
About 3 years.
About 3.
Yeah, see, I've been here 29, but I was sitting.
What have you done in the plant?
Sewed buttons back in the back.
Sewed buttons. You like this job better?
Well, they're all right.
Now, we're into the finishing department now. We're going to be pressing and folding the shirt. Now, you're going to see that we don't press the entire shirt ready to wear. We press the part that would show in the package. All right, now, here we're going to be folding the shirt. We've seen it pressed. Now we're going to be folding. This is where they put all the pins in. You've heard the old saying, that last pin that you missed? Well, this is where we put all the pins in. And that happens to be a collar forming block that shapes the collar the way we expect it to be shaped. An operator doing it by hand wouldn't be able to shape all collars alike.
And she's the last step before it's wrapped?
Yes, it will go to the packing department from here.
As we turn these pages, 2 pictures, of course, I know they were submitted, but here's Kennett City Schools open for the 23-24 term, and the prospects for a successful year are bright. Here was the picture of the Kennett High School building in the North Ward, which is now junior high, the site of junior high. And Shelton School building, South Ward. Boy, it looks remote all around this. Of course, by the time we came to Kennett, there were buildings all around here, but Shelton School building. Enrollment in the schools is 1,011. September 7, 1923, Dr. McCaney gets $1 net for a car of watermelons. H.A. McCaney shipped a carload of melons to Selmeyer Produce in St. Louis about the 20th of August, for which he received a net return of $1. The car contained 1,800 melons. At the same time, there was a dance hall proprietor at the floodway ditches assassinated. A gunshot was fired through the window of his place of business, and 6 citizens of Steele are being held by Dunklin County officials. A runaway team crashes into W.F. Shelton's car. He had a narrow escape from serious injury Tuesday afternoon when a runaway team crashed into his Dodge Coupe, damaging the car very badly, injuring the mule. Fortunately, Mr. Shelton escaped without injury, though the call was a very close one. And the team of mules belonged to Jake Lance, and it became frightened here in town and began running west on St. Francis. The body of the car is almost a total wreck, but Mr. Shelton carries insurance on it, which will take care of his loss. If you had this, you'd have mealtime satisfaction. Price of the stove illustrated is $44.15. And without the oven and cabinet, it's $29.50. New perfection. And it was sold by McDaniel Furniture Company in Cena. September 21st, 23, new motor car for K&SE Railroad. Modern in every respect, in keeping with other improvements of the road. K&SE is going to spend $110,000 for improvement. They will lay 75-pound steel rails and add the motor car and 3 round trips a day. And big as life in this September 21st, 1923 issue of half page. Ku Klux Klan. Do you want to know more about this mysterious order of which so much is being said? No matter what your sentiments are, you should hear the story as told by Dr. C.B. Stewart. Public address in the vacant field 2.5 miles northeast of Kennett near the Ely School. Dr. Stewart is a pastor of the First Baptist Church of Kansas City and one of the noted orators. Everybody's invited, parents, teachers, ministers, and they're going to begin at 7:30. So in these days, that was part of public life. And it's $12.75, and it was from the Karsten Motor Company in Kennett. I have no idea where that Karsten Motor Company was. Karsten Motor Company in Kennett. Well, with the Douglas Motor Company that we were showing the Ford to our customers and friends, beginning October 1st, 1923, we will discontinue all credit and charge business and will sell for cash only. By doing this, we can give better and more accurate service, and they'll lose a lot less money, too. You can save 2% on all purchases by buying coupon books. Well, I had no idea coupon books were going this long. You remember, this is October 26, 1923. Now, you remember that the new Ely Walker plant opened here in late August of 1923. Now, this is 2 months later, Ely Walker considering new factory and a rooming and apartment house for workers also being contemplated. They're in their 3-story factory building on South Main, and have under consideration the construction of a similar building, and this one will be built as soon as the supply of labor demands it. And also they talk about the apartment building. On November 2nd, now we see why they are saying there's a shortage of rooms has effect on factory help. We're in need of rooms, houses, and apartments for our workers, says the Superintendent Dismore of the local Ely Walker plant. The housing problem is one of the most serious that's confronting this industry. Well, that's in the age when not everybody had a car that could drive into Kennett. So I would imagine that perhaps they did consider an apartment house. 1923.
You have been watching Time for Talk. Time for Talk is a community betterment service designed to cooperate with our local community betterment program. Each evening, Monday through Friday at this time, Rosemary interviews local personalities and others who bring items of interest to this community. If you are aware of items of interest, please let us know for possible airing on this program. Time for Talk is brought to you through the cooperation of Kennett Cablevision Incorporated and is produced through the facilities of the Slicer Street Church. The Holy Scriptures come alive. Coming up next. Stay tuned.